First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises to YAHAWAH, SHAM, YAHAWASHI, and double honor to the elders, Apostle Jim Mess, who do well. Salute you brothers pushing this word, and truth, sincerity, and strength of power, YAHAWASHI, right? We out here to prophesy the downfall of America, this wicked and destructive kingdom.
That's right.
Better known in the Bible as Sodom and Gomorrah, Egypt, Syria, all those abominable empires, Egypt, like I said, all those abominable empires balled up into one, and that's what the so-called white man, the red Hebrew Edomite, that's what he upholds in his society. The Roman Empire is all balled up into one, man. So we are here to gather the elect out of the 12 tribes of Israel, because out of the 12 tribes of Israel, only the elect is going to repent through the spirit of power, YAHAWASHI. But yeah, before the camera was coming on, me and the brother was sitting here talking about how one thing we was talking about before it came on is how it's hard when you got a 9-to-5, a constant regular 9-to-5. It's hard to get a lot of studying in, because by the time you get home, you go out. And then another thing that we was talking about, the brother brought up an article. Read that article again from the article. Yeah.
Okay, this came out Friday, September 13th, yesterday. CNN.com. The title is U.S. Navy Warship Challenges Chinese Claims in the South China Sea.
Yeah. So, even though when you read the scriptures, that's news of war, rumors of war, when you read in Matthew 24th chapter, okay? But me and the brothers was talking about how them fake Jews over there in Israel, they a war machine in the Middle East, and how America is a war machine too. And I was telling the brothers about the Avengers, the Age of Ultron, when Ultron was telling Captain America cannot survive without a war. So me and the brother were just sitting here talking and discussing it, how America, the only way America can stay in the power is it has to constantly stay at war with everybody, man. They always got to create and have an adversary, man. But that's the way the Heavenly Father set this Edomite up. You know what I'm saying? This Edomite kingdom up, and their rule. That's how they set them up. So we was having a discussion, and matter of fact, give me hold what you got in there. Give me Genesis 27 and like 40. I think it's 47. Blessed in the sword. Genesis 27 and 46. Like, yeah, it's right there. 41. It's like 41. Yeah.
Okay, this is Genesis chapter 27 and 41, and it reads, "And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob."
Go ahead. That's the black. Go back up to the blessing to where Esau get the Salaki. Go back up to the blessing to where Esau is getting the blessing of the sword. Right there, 38. Salaki about that. We jumped too far down.
Okay, this is Genesis chapter 27 and 38, and it reads, "And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father?" Question. "Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept.
Go ahead. And when you deal with that word wept, that means he was straight. He was lamenting. He was basically howling, man, because he knew that Jacob, when Jacob got that blessing, he knew that his seed line was finished, man. He knew his offspring was finished, man. He knew that. So when you look up that word, what it said again?
Read it again. Okay. This is Genesis 27 and 38, and it reads, And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Question. Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept.
So he was basically howling because he knew that the blessings that Jacob got, he knew his seed line was finished, man. He knew they was going to become slaves forever, man. He knew that. Okay? And this is what Isaac told Esau. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 39. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth.
So all the natural resources was going to be given to Esau, okay? But it was going to be temporary. All the blessings, the natural resources, to where Esau can sustain himself as a nation of people, the Edomites, that blessing, the fatness of the earth, was going to be temporary. Go ahead, bro.
And of the dew of heaven from above.
So whatever the resources is, Esau was going to have control over. Okay? He was going to have some form of control over whatever the resources was. Go ahead.
And by thy sword shalt thou live.
So in order for Esau to have those resources and have control over them, he was going to have to take them with his weaponry. Okay? So he's going to have to take them. Now the scriptures say, he who lives by the sword shall die by the sword. Meaning, if you strong woman and using that sword deceitfully, then you're going to die by it. See, because you can use the sword to defend yourself. But if you're using the sword, the strong woman, to take and to kill people for, murder people for no reason, assassinating people for no reason, that strong woman, then you're going to die by it. But just like you can live by the sword, meaning you can kill animals to eat. Okay? You can live like that. You know what I'm saying? You can prosper like that. But if you're prospering by strong arming and destroying nations and tearing down nations and snatching away their heritage and taking their land without buying it, then you in trouble. You know, that eye for an eye is going to come back on you. Tooth for a tooth is going to come back on you. That judgment is going to come back on you. Go ahead.
And shalt serve thy brother.
See? So Esau knew. Matter of fact, if you brothers want to look that up, the word serve right there. So Esau knew. That's why he was howling, man. Because that blessing that Jacob got, man, that's written in stone, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? You can't break that covenant, man. You can't break that blessing, man. There's no way you can break it. So that's why Esau, he knew. That's why he was howling at that particular time. And he knew any of his seed line that come out of him, he knew they was finished because he knew they was going to end up serving his brother Jacob. Okay? In his offspring. He knew that. So it was serious business. And see the Rothschilds, the Oppenheimers, the DuPonts, the Geddes, the Warburgs, and the Oppenheimers, they know that. They know the history of Esau. Even the Rothschilds themselves, they came out and, you had guys that was amongst them. And you had guys that was amongst them who have said that the Rothschilds know that they are descendants of Esau. Said they know it, okay? But they pretend to be descendants of Judah. okay, of the house of Judah. But they know they descendants from Esau, man. It's reconciled there. Matter of fact, I've brought it out, and I remember Apostle Elder Gabar used to bring it out a long time ago about the document, and how they knew that how the Rothschilds knew that they were descendants of Esau. So they know, man. So the elites that are Red Hebrew Edomites, they know who we are. Like I always mention, they got 5,000 years worth of history. Okay, they got 5,000 years worth of history. They got it in the Smithsonian Institute. They got it in the Library of Congress, and they got it in the Vatican. So they got 5,000 years worth of history. So they know who everybody is on the earth, man. They just don't tell the masses of the people, because if the people don't know who they are and they govern their life off lies, it's easy to rule them. You see, once people find out who they are, they're gonna want to go back to their heritage. They're gonna want to go back. So that's why when you come to America, they want your heritage and the way you conduct yourself and the way you used to govern yourself. Your ancestors, they want you to put that off and live toward the future. Forget about the past. You see, because they can rule you easier. But this is Esau right here, the prophecy of the so-called white man living by the sword. Okay, go ahead, bro.
And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck.
So there it happened. Esau was in slavery up under us. When you go into the history about King David, Esau was in slavery up under King David. But when the tribes had split up during the time of Solomon, then that's when the Edomites broke free, so to speak. And they had their own king. Okay? They were doing their own thing. But then when you go into the fast forward into the future, during the time of YAHAWASHI, they was ruling as the Romans. But before that, there was the Greeks, which the actual Greeks, when you go into the history, when you understand the history, the real Greeks are the Hawaiian Samoans and the Tonganese, the Japhetic people. But what Esau did was push them Greeks out, which are the Japhetic people, and took on the Greekish way, and they started calling themselves Greeks. Okay, so that's how that happened. That's how they took over the Greeks and started calling themselves Greek. But originally, when you understand the scriptures and you go into the table of nations, the actual real Greeks are the Japhetic people, the Hawaiian Samoans and the Tonganese, the people of Fiji, you know, people like that, the Aborigines of Australia, the Aborigines of the Filipinos, you know. But even though you had Spain go over there and take over the Filipinos, because you got Issachar over there too. Okay, Issachar went into slavery, and the Filipinos through the Spaniards took some of Issachar over there, the Aztecs over there. So, but going back to my point, you always got to remember the scriptures. When you understand the scriptures, you got to go into history, you got to look up names, you got to get that understanding, man. And that takes time for you to get into that studying, man. That takes time, man. You're not going to just get into that overnight and say, oh, I got everything. No, it takes time, it takes studying, man. You really have to study, man. So, but we know through prophecy and through the scriptures, understanding the scriptures and history, how these Edomites became Greek. Okay, they took the term Greek and put it on themselves. Okay, but the Edomites were ruling as Greek and ruling as Roman, and like I was saying, they broke their yoke. And then when you go into the Holy Roman Empire, right, when we was ruling during the time of the Holy Roman Empire, the so-called Holy Roman Empire, with the Diocletians and Constantine them, so to speak, and Marcus Aurelius and Septimius Severus, all of them were jakes. But the Edomites had failed, and they became servants unto us again. And then when we fell in 1453, that's when them Edomites came back into power. Okay, and in 1492, they came back. When we fell in 1453, during the Black Plague and the bubonic plague, the earthquake had hit in Turkey, and it killed people. And the plague, they say, came from rats, and it killed people. And Esau married up into the royalty. When you go into the 1600s, 1400s, Esau married up into the royalties, and that's how Esau came into power. Okay, it just didn't happen overnight. And then when Esau came on this side, what he was doing was, when Granada fell over there in Spain, when the Moors was ruling, you had Esau tell the guys, the prisoners, there was fighting against the Moors, which was Israelites in Granada. You had them get put on ships to come over here, and they were told, look, if you help Columbus them, you can be free. So you had Israelites come over here and fight other Israelites who was on this side and help take them down during that time. So Esau was breaking his yoke from off his neck more than one time. But I'm just laying the history out there so you can keep up with what I'm saying. You know, I may not say it on this video, or I may not say it on the last video, but I may say it on the next video. Why I'm sometimes, so you can understand what I'm saying. So you have to go into that history, you know, to know about that. And them guys that they brought over, which was the Moors, they was already trained for combat and war. See, Esau leave that history out. They was already trained for combat because they had been fighting in Granada, okay? And which they was fighting other Israelites. And a lot of them, when Granada fell, a lot of them Israelites went up into Europe, and a lot of them went into France. You had over 1 million Moors, which was Israelites, go up into France, man. And France was ruled by Israelites. But when you go back into like the Franks, when you go back into the history of the Franks, that's where France go back to. They go back to the Franks, which was Israelites. So it's a lot of that history that they hide. But read that again for me, bro.
This is Genesis 27 and 40. And it reads, and by thy sword shalt thou live.
And by thy sword shalt thou live. So when Esau was howling like that and knew that his descendants was going to be slaves of the Israelites, which are Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, hey, and the Rothschilds know their history. They got 5,000 years worth of history, and they know about the scripture. So that's why they use the sword against us like that, because they know the history, man, and they live by the sword. And Esau blessing, him ruling America in this Roman Empire, Sodom and Gomorrah Empire, he would put hell on the other nations, but he would also put hell mainly on Jake, because he knows Jake gonna get that blessing, man. He really want to wipe us out as a people, but he can't, because the Most High is the one that's gonna have mercy on him. He really want to wipe us out. He really want to put that chip in every Israelite and make them subservient unto him and be a slave unto him forever, and wipe out their memories, so they won't even know who they are, they won't even know nothing about the Most High, so they can rule forever and won't ever be overthrown. So that's the real agenda of the New World Order. That's the completion of it. They want to put the chip in the Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, which are the biblical Hebrew Israelites, and they want to wipe out your memory, and they want you to serve them forever, the Edomites forever, man. So you won't even know, man. That's why they hide their history like that. So you won't know. So you won't put two and two together, man. Yeah, they want to put that on everybody, man. Okay? That's the mark of the beast. But these guys right here, where them devils at? They somewhere here hiding. Oh, these guys right here. Yeah, there's them devils here. These guys right here, man. The Rothschild, Evelyn Rothschild, man. They want to chip everybody, man. Okay, and their main focus is on the Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, because those are the biblical Hebrew Israelites, man. They want to do that, man. And how did they get this land? By the sword. How did they build up America? By the sword. How did they get the resources they got? By the sword, man. So read that again for me out.
Okay, this is Genesis. This is Genesis 27 and 40. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck.
So Esau done that, man. That's why he's in power now. That happened, man. And even during the time of the Moors, we had Esau in slavery, which they hide their history, man. We had them in slavery, man. When you go into the history of the Moors, the golden ages of the Moors, man, when you read that book, Golden Ages of the Moors, we had them in slavery, man. That's history that they don't want you to know about, okay? We had them in slavery, okay? So he was going to do that. But the key point I wanted out there is him living by the sword, and America cannot stay in power without going to war, man. They always have to be at war, okay? And that's what we was talking about before the camera came on, okay? So that's just what it is, man. You always gonna have, as long as these Edomites on the earth, man, you always gonna have war, because that's what they set up to do, bring war and destroy everything. Like I was telling you, y'all brothers, about that series, The 100 on Netflix. Hey, man, as soon as they hit that ground, man, it was war, man. You know what I'm saying? They destroyed the earth. They destroyed the earth by nuclear bombs, and they was up in the heavens, okay? But then when they come down, you had some people in the bunkers, okay? And then you had some grounders already there, okay? They were calling them grounders, and they were calling them the people that was in the heavy sky people, okay? But what it is when they all came down and got up on the land, war started all over again, man. Death. That's what took place when you watch that Netflix series, The 100. That's all you see is death and plagues in them, man. And that's what Esau bring, man. That's what they bring, man. And when you watch that series, few people mention God in there. You know what I'm saying? According to the world, they mention God in there. But you never see nobody in there govern themselves off the scriptures, man, because Esau don't, give me that in Psalm 50 and 16. Esau don't believe in the scriptures, man. Esau don't believe in the scriptures, man. It's not designed for him to govern the earth by the scriptures. The way he's supposed to govern the earth is what? By his own vain opinion and the sword, man, and wickedness, man, and deception. That's how he's supposed to govern the earth, man. Okay? Psalm 50 and 16.
All right, this is Psalms chapter 50, verse 16. But unto the wicked the Most High said, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes? Or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth.
Go ahead.
Question. Seeing thou hateth instruction.
See, Esau hated instruction. He hate the wisdom of the Heavenly Father and His Son. He hate this Bible, man. You see, Esau say, well, I love God. They come up because they deceptive. You know what I'm saying? That's what they supposed to do, come up and step. That's, you know what I'm saying? Like a serpent. That's what they supposed to do. But when it's all said and done, they hate the Bible, man. You see, you know, you got people that say, well, they gave us their Bible in slavery. You know what I'm saying? They gave us their Bible in slavery. Which they did have a Bible, okay? But it didn't belong to them. What it was they took it from them, okay? But when they did give us a Bible, majority of the scriptures was taken out, okay? Yeah, they gave us a slave Bible, but majority of the scriptures was taken out, and they didn't want us to have a full Bible, okay? Yeah, obey your master and stuff like that. But when you read that scripture, that's talking about an Israelite who owned the business. That ain't got nothing to do with Esau. You see? Because you had Israelites owning businesses, okay? And Israelites, when they got the understanding of the scriptures, they will be merciful towards their brother, man. Esau not merciful towards his brother, because when we read the scriptures, guess what he was finna do? Kill Jacob. And when you watch the news, any news channel, when it's pertaining to Jacob, they always getting demonized or getting killed, man. One of the two. So Esau not merciful toward us. He hate to be merciful towards us, because the Bible teaches us, look, as brothers, we supposed to be merciful towards each other. Esau hate that. Read that again, bro.
This is Psalms chapter 50, verse 16. But unto the wicked the Most High said, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth, seeing thou hatest instruction?
Seeing thou hatest instruction. They hate it, man. Okay? They hate for you to show, to see us. See, Esau hate to see us standing up here reading these scriptures and teaching brotherly love and teaching about YAHAWASHI. Esau hate that, man. Man, he grinding his teeth right now, man. When he see a video go up, Esau grinding his teeth like, man, we got to find a way to get him off the street. We got to find a way to call the family to work, which he fulfilling the will of YAHAWASHI. But that's how he's thinking. He's like, man, they coming together. Man, I can't believe it. He grinding his teeth, man.
Because my brothers are waking up like crazy now.
Yeah.
And you got brothers falling out too. Because I done seen some brothers out here like, bro, what are you talking about? Like,
yeah.
Bro, like,
yeah. But it's part of the prophecy.
But
it's part of the prophecy.
Waking up.
You know, his brothers waking up. And then on top of that, just because you know you're an Israelite don't mean you part of the elect. Okay? Just because you know you're an Israelite don't mean you part of the elect, man. You know, hey, man, the elect is set up from the foundation of the earth. And the scriptures say, make your calling and election sure, man. So you have to apply these scriptures and put in work, man. You just can't sit back and think, oh, I'm straight because I know I'm an Israelite. No, you got to put in work, man. You got to show YAHAWASHI how much you love him, okay, by spreading his word and teaching the truth, man, and sincerity, man. You got to be that living sacrifice.
Like a lot of brothers, they sit back and chill. They still world. Like I see a lot of brothers like that still be like RIP, like you in the truth, but you still be RIP and Nipsey Hussle and all this other stuff. I'm like, brother, he a Hamite, and then like,
yeah, you got judged, man.
And then like, brother, what you talking? Then why you got brother up on you? You know what I'm saying? You trying to give homage to a Hamite? Like, brother, come on now. And then he got judged. So if anybody get judged, you just like, well, the Most High judged him.
Right.
So, wipe the dust off your shoulders and keep it moving. Keeping these scriptures, hoping this don't happen to you.
Yeah, that's the way the ball bounce, man.
Yeah.
You know? So read that one more time for me, bro.
This is Psalms chapter 50, verse 16. But unto the wicked the Most High said, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth?
Say for instance, you had one of them little, one of the New Testament Bible, little pocket Bible. All right, if you was at work and reading it on your break time, Esau see you, he'll get mad because you reading it, man. He'll say, what you doing, man? Why you reading like that? Why you know what I'm saying? Why you keep reading all day like that when you on your break? You know what I'm saying? Not all day, but when you on your break. Why you reading the scriptures like that? And then get with your thought there. You must be a Muslim when you got the New Testament in your hand.
Bro, I told like some white guys, they were the maintenance guys.
Yeah.
And they cooked hot dogs or whatever. I was still kind of coming into the truth.
Yeah.
And they was like, he was like, you want some hot dogs? I was like, pork in there? He was like, yeah, I think there's pork in there. I was like, no, I'm straight.
Yeah.
The first thing he said was, assalamu alaikum, whatever. Yeah, whatever. And I was like, bro, I'm not Muslim, bro. I was like, I ain't with that.
But
I
see,
ain't
that's
get down with that, bro.
That's the stupidity of Esau. They'll say they're Christians. They'll say they're Christians, but they really don't understand what they mean, and they really don't understand the scripture. But that's still being the devil, man. And then they don't know history because the Quran is plagiarized, man. They took some things out of the Bible and put it in the Quran, man.
And the Quran tell you that the Israelites are Allah's chosen people.
Yeah. So it's really the Quran is plagiarized, man. It's just up to people who are in that religion, because that's what it is. And the word religion is a Latin word religio, which means to bind up and hold back. So you're being bind up and held back in the religion, right, from the truth, man. You Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans who are in there, man. So you have to go into the history and study to know that that Quran is mess, man. It's not the truth. The King James Bible is the truth, man. Okay? That's what we believe in. So when people see us out here, or people see us reading, they'll say, oh, y'all must be Muslim. But that just shows you the stupidity of them, man. When we plainly reading out the scripture, that just shows you the idiotic and the stupidity of them, the Forrest Gump spirit. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't eat pork, that's what they'll say. But they plainly tell you in Leviticus 11 chapter, don't eat it.
It's unclean.
It's unclean. It plainly tell you that. Now, what are you doing here?